So that was her view on uniform. And our current policy right now speaks to individual school communities to make individual school decisions. And one of our responsibilities was to assist our trustees in making a decision towards a standardized dress code across the campus. So as part of the research that Mr. Antoine and others put together was we looked around the world. And Caitlin happened to mention that approximately 85% of the countries around the world, either private schools or publicly funded schools or the state schools in some of the countries, wear uniforms. In countries that are highlighted in orange are countries around the world that fit into one of those three categories. We had students who had just returned from 3.5 months as part of our Niagara Catholic International Co-op experience in Dominica. Dominica is the second poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, and they came back and said the students in that country go to school, elementary, secondary, wear a uniform. Cast the net a little further, you can see various schools, or in this case, it's private, it's a Catholic diocese in Brooklyn, wearing uniforms. Sydney, Australia, throughout Sydney, all of the students wear uniforms of various colors. On the left is a summer wear, on the right is winter wear. In China, all the Chinese students wear uniform. They tend to be more of a gym type of uniform that represents particular areas within China. In South Korea, the school that Niagara Catholic is teamed with, Catholic school uniforms are part of their daily wear. In New Zealand, you see just some of the different styles. This is in India. England has various types of uniform styles that school boards or school districts have implemented. This is the Catholic school district in Flagstaff, Arizona. They don't have to cast the net that far. Not too far down the road in Hamilton. Hamilton has introduced a dress code for all of their elementary school students. And it is a blue bottom, a blue top, or a white top. We have their elementary school system. And Toronto Catholic has just recently introduced the dress code for their elementary school students. They're blue and a white top or a blue top. We have various different styles of tunic, coat, pants, and vests that are part of their program. Well, Niagara Catholic, I just mentioned to you about the long history of uniforms in our secondary schools, but even across Ontario. Sometimes it's a dress code, or sometimes it's a uniform. As far as dress codes, Hamilton and Toronto have a dress code, standardized dress code for elementary school students. Niagara Catholics to be determined, and there are a couple of other boards just recently who are going through a very similar process as are we. As far as secondary schools, 23 of the 26 Catholic school boards that have secondary and elementary schools, because there are 3 Catholic school boards that just have elementary schools. 23 of the 26 have a secondary uniform. That gives you a survey as to what climate is like in Ontario. But where does this germinate from? In addition to policy review, throughout our Vision 2020 process that engaged over 8,000 greens and voices over a number of years, it came through with a number of recommendations that we are following through. An elementary chaplaincy unit was proposed during that process. Niagara Catholic just introduced this year 4 of them. Designing a mental health support plan for our students. Advancing technology. Increasing our students' experiences globally. Many, many, many ideas came through those vision statements that we are following through and enacting over years with all the budget approval. And within that process, and it was a very consultative process, as a number of you may have participated in that there was a very strong support and recommendation for us to look at and to review an elementary dress code or a uniform through a consultation process. That is what we're doing. And we believe that it fits in with the Vision 2020 strategic plans in 2 ways. One, to build a strong Catholic identity and to nurture the distinctiveness of Catholic education, and to advance student achievement for all. It also fits into 2 of the enabling strategies of our board strategic plan that we provide the supports for success and building partnerships in schools as community hubs. The students are identified as schools that they go to, and excellent things that they do within our community. So currently, in Niagara Catholic, we have just a little under 8,200 Catholic secondary school students in uniform. The proposal is for 15,000 elementary school students in a dress code. Those are the terms that we use, uniform and dress code, by September 2013. This is what we'd like to share the proposal with.
So at this point, I would like to introduce to you some of our models who have come here this evening. And these are just samples that we want to show some of our parent communities. We have Eli, who has blue top with a gray pen, and it could be a white top with a gray pen. We've got Vanessa with a white top, and we have Elise, got the blue jumper and a white top, and the blue lead card. So a lot of our accessories, but the basics. Kate has the same blue and white combination, and Lucas has gray pants, a nice white Oxford shirt that he's wearing, but the hoodie is something that we've looked at as a decision at the school level. So it could be a white top, gray pant, but the hoodie is something that the kids and parents could decide upon as another accessory, much of the same as we have Spirit well wear at this point in time. Plus, so it's been very sad for a bit as I speak to this. So we want to walk you through some of the research we've still done on some of the advantages to a dress code, some of the things that we have found. The fact that we focus on the uniqueness of the individual, and the gift of the individual, beyond what the person or the student is wearing, looking for the uniqueness of every child and what they bring to the school community. The whole piece on safety, improved identification of students and visitors. The whole piece, designer clothes, shoes, reduction in the theft in those areas, and a reduction in social group identification. But the biggest piece that we see as an advantage is a socio-economic equalizer. And as we read more and more about it, we find that students, as you'll see, are focused more on the academic achievement as compared to what everybody else is wearing. Peer pressure, all of us have faced as with our children, well, what fashion trends. The pride in identifying with the school, and also the Catholic school identity pride that is instilled with the students of the school community, and the reduction in possible discrimination. So, as we said, increased focus on academic achievement rather than the wardrobe. What we've heard from many parents, simplifying the morning routine for students and parents. So we know we're going to wear to school, and it's much simpler to get ready for school. A significant reduction in the school clothes cost per family. And what we're saying here is, if you have the weekend or evening clothes and you're not wearing them in school during the day, they will last a lot longer for a family. The price advantage over designer labels, looking at very durable uniform brand items, the consistent wardrobe throughout the school year, and as I just stated, the non-uniform clothes, the economic use of that. But we have equity and inclusive education policies within our board. We believe this would support that equity and inclusive education policy. And above and beyond all the advantages, we would have a dress code school uniform concept from ELKP, or the early years, junior kindergarten, right through to grade 12. So we also looked at other districts, locally and nationally, where they have found there was a decrease in behavior that negatively impacted the school and the classroom. Now, I didn't say there was a complete all bullying and stuff. We're not saying that. Some of the studies we found was that there was actually, if you look at the positive side of that there was an increase in positive school climate. They've also found to shift the focus from what the students are wearing to what the students are learning. A lot of schools and faculties that were written in research stated that. When a child moves from one school to another, the same basic uniform is required. As our policy sits right now, we have 80% policy, and that's what senior administration has looked at. So conceivably, if a school voted to have a school uniform and received 80% support for that uniform, according to the current policy, that school could go to a uniform. But if you're a parent moving from one school to another and going into a school with a uniform, you would be obliged to take part and dress in that school uniform as that school had set up. So we're looking at a dress code that's consistent throughout all the schools, so that when families move from one school to another, you're not spending on different types of items. If one school went to a blue pant and a pink shirt, you'd be obliged to that, as we currently state in policy. But what we're bringing forward is, no matter what school we move to within the Niagara Catholic Board, we would propose the same proposal, being a gray pant or a white or blue top, and hoodie, and so on. So we then have consistent policy throughout Niagara Catholic. And as we said, consistent policy making it easier for all of our families throughout the district. And along with that, a common expectation. So we have the common white top or blue top or gray pant, and each school could have that as a basic, but then we would look at the hoodies and so on at the school level.